We've all seen the headlines, heard the whispers of unrest. The world is changing, and not for the better. Every day we are bombarded with news of chaos and disorder, making us question the stability of our society. The world feels like it's teetering on a knife's edge. The tension is palpable, and the sense of impending doom is hard to ignore. We see it in the eyes of strangers, in the hurried steps of commuters, and in the hushed conversations on the streets. Natural disasters, economic collapse, social unrest, it could be anything that tips the scales. Each event, each crisis, adds another layer of uncertainty, pushing us closer to the brink. The fragility of our civilization is laid bare, and we are left to wonder what will be the final straw. And when that happens, when the thin veneer of civilization is stripped away, you need to be ready. The empty streets and deserted stores are a stark reminder of how quickly things can fall apart. The safety nets we once relied on may no longer be there, because when the lights go out, the worst of humanity often emerges. In the darkness, fear and desperation take over, and people do things they never thought they were capable of. The thin line between order and chaos is easily crossed. Forget everything you think you know about the rules. In a world where the old order has crumbled, the rules we once lived by no longer apply. It's a new reality, one where survival is the only law. In a true SHTF scenario, there are no rules. The structures that once held society together are gone, and it's every person for themselves. The chaos is overwhelming, and the sense of security we once took for granted is a distant memory. It's every man, woman, and family for themselves. In these times, the bonds of community are tested, and the instinct to protect one's own becomes paramount. The preparations we make now can mean the difference between safety and peril. And believe me, the wolves are always at the door when they smell weakness. Predators, both human and otherwise, are always on the lookout for easy prey. They exploit fear and vulnerability, striking when least expected. They're looking for easy targets, for the unprepared, the naive. Those who haven't taken the time to prepare are the first to fall victim. It's a harsh reality, but one we must face head on. But that's not going to be you. You have the power to change your fate, to take control of your destiny. By preparing now, you can ensure that you and your loved ones are ready for whatever comes. Today, we're going to prepare for that moment, that potential reality. We will walk you through the steps you need to take, the skills you need to learn, and the mindset you need to adopt. Preparation is key, and knowledge is your greatest weapon. We're going to equip you with the knowledge and the mindset you need to defend your castle, to protect what's yours. Your home is your sanctuary, and it's up to you to make it impenetrable. Together, we will build a fortress of safety and resilience. This isn't about being paranoid, it's about being prepared. It's about survival. In a world where uncertainty is the only certainty, preparation is not just an option, it's a necessity. To defend your home effectively, you need to understand your enemy. Looters and marauders are opportunists. They thrive on panic and desperation. They target what's visible, what's unprotected, and what appears easy to take. Don't mistake them for mindless monsters. They're human beings driven by fear and desperation. But that doesn't make them any less dangerous. They're looking for an easy score, a quick grab of supplies, valuables, anything to survive another day. And they're drawn to weakness like sharks to blood in the water. An open window, an unlocked door, even the flicker of a candle in the distance can be a beacon to these desperate souls. That's why the first rule of survival is, don't advertise. Remember, these are predators, but they're also cowards at heart. They're looking for the path of least resistance. The moment they encounter any sign of trouble, any indication that you're not an easy mark, they're likely to move on to easier pickings. Think about it from their perspective. Would they rather spend their time trying to break into a fortress, risking injury or worse? Or would they rather target the house down the street with the open garage door and the lights blazing? The choice is obvious. That's why making your home a hard target is absolutely crucial. It's about sending a clear message. Don't come knocking here. You won't like what you find. The first step to protecting your home is making it a hard target. You want to make it look less like a soft target and more like an impenetrable fortress. Think of it like building your own personal castle. Start with your entry points, your doors and windows. These are the weak points in any structure. Reinforce doors with metal plates, deadbolts, and door jammers. These are simple measures that can make a world of difference. Windows are even more vulnerable. Install security film on windows to make them shatter-resistant. It's like an invisible shield that can buy you precious time. Remember, every second counts in a crisis. Now, let's talk about your perimeter. A fence can be your first line of defense, but make it functional, like chain link or barbed wire, to deter climbers. We're not talking about aesthetics here. We're talking about creating a real barrier. Lighting is another crucial element. Motion-activated floodlights can scare off intruders before they even reach your home. It's like having an extra pair of eyes watching your back, and it can be enough to make a looter think twice. Cameras and decoys can also play a vital role. Even fake security cameras and alarm signs can make looters think twice. But if possible, invest in real surveillance. Knowing what's happening around your property is invaluable. We've talked about fortifying your home, making it a fortress. But what does that really mean? It's not just about having strong walls or a sturdy roof. It's about creating a comprehensive defense system that can deter, delay, and ultimately defeat any potential intruders. But a good defense is more than just strong walls. It's about creating multiple layers of security that work together to protect you and your loved ones. Think of it like an onion. Each layer adds another obstacle, another challenge for anyone foolish enough to try their luck. Each layer adds another obstacle, another challenge for anyone foolish enough to try their luck. The more layers you have, the harder it becomes for someone to breach your defenses. The outer layer, that's your perimeter. This is your first line of defense. Think fences, thorny bushes, anything that makes approaching your home a pain in the backside. These elements can slow down or even deter potential intruders before they get close. You want to eliminate hiding spots, make them feel exposed, vulnerable. Next, the middle layer. This is where you start to get serious. This is where your alarms, cameras, and reinforced entry points come into play. These systems not only alert you to an intruder's presence, but also make it significantly harder for them to gain access. It's about slowing them down, making them work for every inch. The more time they spend trying to get in, the more likely they are to give up. Remember, every second you delay them, every obstacle they encounter, increases the chance of them giving up and finding an easier target. Your goal is to make your home the least appealing option. And trust me, in a crisis situation there's no shortage of those. When chaos reigns, the prepared stand a better chance of staying safe. Now the heart of the onion, the inner layer, this is your safe room, your escape routes, your last line of defense. This is where you make your stand if all else fails. It could be a reinforced room, a hidden crawl space, anything that provides cover and concealment. You need to plan for every eventuality. And if the worst happens and you're forced to defend your family, this is where you do it. Remember, your home is your territory. You know it better than anyone. Use that to your advantage. Set traps, create choke points, turn your knowledge of your home into a weapon. This is about survival, about protecting what's yours. Alright, let's face it, sometimes those layers of defense aren't enough. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, the intruders get inside, but don't panic. This is where your tactical training kicks in. First rule, silence is golden. Noise gives away your position, tells them exactly where you are. Stay quiet, stay low, and move with purpose. If you have a safe room, now's the time to use it. Get your family inside, lock it down, and make that your stronghold. But remember, a safe room is only as good as your ability to defend it. If you're confronted, you need to be prepared to fight back. This is where your defensive tools come into play. Firearms, pepper spray, even makeshift weapons. Whatever you choose, training is key. You don't want to hesitate, you don't want to second-guess yourself. In a life-or-death situation, your instincts need to take over. Remember, your home has choke points, hallways, doorways, stairwells. Use these to your advantage. Funnel them into tight spaces where they can't use their numbers against you. This is about using your environment, your wits, and your courage to even the odds. This is about survival. We've talked about fortifying your home, making it a fortress. But in a true survival situation, your defenses are only as strong as your community. Remember, there's strength in numbers. Reach out to your neighbors, get to know them, build trust, and create a plan. Because when disaster strikes, it's not about me or you, it's about us. Organize watch groups, share resources, and establish a communication system. A united front is a powerful deterrent. Looters prey on the weak, the isolated, the unprepared. Show them you're none of those things. Show them you're a community, a force to be reckoned with. Remember those survival instincts we talked about? Well, humans are social animals. We're hardwired to work together to protect our own. Tap into that. Build a network of trust and support within your neighborhood. Share skills and knowledge. Maybe you're handy with repairs, your neighbor's a former medic, another neighbor has a green thumb. These skills become invaluable in a crisis. Remember, a community that stands together survives together. Don't underestimate the power of human connection. It could be your greatest asset when the world goes dark. We've covered the fortifications, the defenses, the plans, but the most crucial element in all this isn't bricks, barbed wire, or bullets. It's what's going on up here. Your mental state. In the wild, when the stakes are high, panic can be as deadly as a venomous snake. Same goes for defending your home. You crack under pressure, you make mistakes, you hesitate, you're done. This isn't about being fearless. Fear is a natural response, a survival instinct. It's about controlling that fear, channeling it into focus, into action. We call it expedition mindset in survival. Out here, it's about staying sharp, anticipating problems before they arise. Back home, it's about knowing your surroundings, being prepared for any eventuality. You've got to be 2 steps ahead of the game, always. Confidence, now that's earned. It's not something you can just wake up with one day. It's built, brick by brick, through experiences and challenges. Can't buy it off the shelf. No amount of money can purchase true confidence. You build it through practice, through knowing your skills are solid. It's the countless hours spent honing your craft, the dedication to improvement. It's like starting a fire in a downpour. It seems impossible at first, but with persistence, you learn the techniques. You've done it 100 times, you know the technique, you trust yourself to get it done. Each successful attempt builds your confidence. Same goes for your defense plan. It's not just about having the tools, but knowing how to use them effectively. Doesn't have to be fancy, but it's got to be second nature. Repetition is key, making sure every move is instinctual. Drill it until you can do it in your sleep. Muscle memory will take over when your mind is under stress, because when the pressure's on, you won't rise to the occasion, you'll fall back on your training. Your body will know what to do even if your mind is racing. And if the worst happens, if those looters breach your defenses, you need resolve, a steel spine, the determination to stand your ground. This is your home, your family, your last stand. Everything you hold dear is on the line. There's no backing down, no second chances. You have to be ready to defend it with everything you've got. It's about making the decision deep down that you're going to do whatever it takes to protect what's yours. That unwavering commitment is crucial. That kind of commitment, that's what separates the survivors from the victims. It's the difference between those who make it through and those who don't. We've talked about what you need to do, but just as important is what you need to avoid. Mistakes in the wild can cost you your life. Same goes in a crisis situation. First up, don't be an easy target. Leaving windows open, doors unlocked, that's like leaving a trail of breadcrumbs for trouble. You're practically inviting them in for a cup of post-apocalyptic tea. Next, don't advertise your preps. Bragging about your supplies, your weapons, that's just painting a target on your back. Keep a low profile. Remember, discretion is the better part of valor, especially when things go south. You're preparing for the worst, not throwing a look at all my cool gear party. The time for showing off is when it counts, not before. Another rookie mistake is putting all your eggs in one basket. Relying solely on one weapon, one defense strategy, that's a recipe for disaster. Think of it like building a shelter in the wild. You use multiple materials, multiple techniques to create something strong, adaptable. Same goes for your home defense. Diversify your tools, have a backup plan, and a backup for your backup. Because when things go sideways, and they will, you need options. The ability to adapt, to think on your feet, that's what sets apart the survivors. Don't be afraid to improvise. Use what you have, use your environment to your advantage. Remember, it's not about having the best gear, it's about making the best of what you've got. Alright, you've got the knowledge, you've got the tools, now it's up to you to put in the work. Remember, defending your home, protecting your family, it's not about being paranoid, it's about being prepared. So, there you have it. Everything you need to know to defend your home from looters, thieves, and marauders in a worst-case scenario. Remember, the best defense is preparation. Start fortifying your home today and make sure your family knows the plan. Host, did I miss anything? Drop your tips in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to Last Stand Prep. Together, we'll stay ready for whatever comes our way. Subscribe to Last Stand Prep, and never be caught off guard.